What's the crack, lads? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have got the English player of the season. So, big time and showtime. Mohamed Salah, we do have him as a big time. Momentum dribbling, we're going to go straight into him. Whole player, right midfielder. Let me know if you guys have spun for these or if you're waiting for future packs. Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. So this is with his max booster. Obviously, he's a big time player. He's going to get +3 on his technique. Now, hold on a minute, right? Before you spin, listen to a couple of things I have to say about this card. And I'm also going to show you what I consider and still consider to be the best Salah card. But technique +3, you've got double touch from the rip. You don't have soul control and flip-flap. He does need those on his card. But he has cut behind and turn. He's momentum dribbling, long-range curler, long-range shooting, first-time shot. And he even has true crossing, or true passing and pinpoint crossing and outside curler, which is very nice. The thing I most like about this Salah, though, is the fact that he's got weak high foot accuracy, high, and he also has amazing run and incisive run, which is very nice for a whole player. However, there are a couple of issues with him. Now, I'm going to show you the build here, right? This is the Salah build. Now, as I said, right, you do have a couple of weaknesses when he's trained up. Physical contact is a kind of a growing concern for a lot of people that are getting pushed off the ball. I honestly think that physical contact is just busted at the moment. It doesn't really make sense logically with the way the gameplay is at the moment, but he does need these stats. He does need this kind of booster, striker's instinct with this build, but it's just going to be an insane card. If you have a lot of really, really good hole players, you probably don't need Salah, especially if you don't shoot a lot. Now, I did mention about Salah already, right? This is the card that we have of him, which is the Blitz Curler. So the old one is the Blitz Curler. This is probably the best card that they've ever released of Salah. He's down as a Roman flank, which is a little bit of a pity, but 92 ball control, 97 dribbling, 93 tight possession, 93 finishing, 90 curl, speed, acceleration, kick power, and balance, all really high. It's not as good as a card statistics-wise or, you know, build-wise, but this card has been lighting it up for me. Obviously, he's played over 300 games, 145 goals, and we do have him that's able to play as a centre-forward as well. So if you do have this old Salah, I honestly don't know if there's a point in going for the new Salah. But it is up to yourselves, lads. Honestly, it's up to yourselves. We also have an aerial fort, Gabriel Magalhaes with Arsenal. He is 27 levels, which is a little bit of a pity. I think this card is probably the most disappointing of the pack. I know people will say that, like, he's tall, he's strong, he's mobile, but I definitely don't think he's going to compete with the likes of Araujo or the likes of the biggest, best destroyers in the game. Nice defending booster, nice stats, nice skills. Obviously, he's got aerial fort, he's got sliding tackle, fighting spirit, blocker interception, aerial superiority. He does need acrobatic clearance. That's one thing that I think is missing from him, but he does have one-touch pass. He also has first-time shot and heading, which is very, very nice on this card. Now, the build with Gabriel here, lads, is as follows, right? He only has 27 levels. This build is with the most popular manager at the moment, Gasperini. 9 of the top 10 are using Gasperini, so go figure why. Long ball counter, jumping, physical contact, heading, all into the 90s. The low point with Gabriel is his 85 speed and 80 acceleration, along with the rest of the stats, but it's still an unbelievable card, in fairness. It is a fantastic card. Apologies on the skills as well. That aerial superiority is wrong. You can put on, you know, whatever you want there. And if you want to throw on soul control on him, you can as well. But yeah, that aerial superiority skill is wrong because he already has that. So apologies about that. But the rest of his stats and skills, that is the build. 6, 6, 8, 12. Starting with his dexterity and then his lower body strength, his defense, his aerial strength. So I do feel as if this card is very, very nice. I just feel as if that, like, you are going to have to, you know, you are going to have to train him up a little bit differently than you probably would most, because he just is missing a couple of levels, right? And then last but not least in this pack, we do have Ryan Gravenberch, who, interestingly enough, he has 31 levels. He's down as an orchestrator, and he does have, of course, long reach tackle, which is the new build or the new booster build for him. He also has double touch flip flap and soul control and one touch pass interception and blocker. Very interesting card. I definitely kind of slept on this card when it was first leaked or first, you know, like released in the data. I definitely think this is an interesting card. However, I honestly just don't think that there's any orchestrator better than Pirlo. Like, I just think Pirlo is just above and beyond. He's nearly on Vieira levels of just better than anybody in that position, right? I do feel that this Gravenberch is decent. I definitely think that he has a couple of levels that you can improve upon. This is the build here that if you wanted to, you could kind of train him up quite nice. You've got good ball control, dribbling and tight possession. As an orchestrator, his low pass and lofted pass is quite poor. You don't need to go as heavy into the defense if you don't want to. He's kind of a neither here nor there player, right? He's got mid-80 stats and hits thresholds on pretty much every single stat as an orchestrator, but he doesn't excel in any one area. Also, he's quite tall, so aerial superiority on him is quite nice. Soul control, again, this is a wrong stat. He does have soul control from the rip. Weighted pass, he does need. Track back is nice on him. Acrobatic clearance is nice on him. And instead of soul control, you can have something like either gamesmanship, you could have sliding tackle. Apologies about the skills, lads. These are just wrong, the skills in this. So yeah, instead of soul control, you could have that. Or any of the passing skills, low lofted or whatever. I just forgot to update that this morning, unfortunately, and at a meeting this morning. So yeah, but it's 31 levels of a card. It's a fairly decent card. I'm not going to lie, right? These cards are very, very nice. It just depends whether they're actually worth spinning for or not, especially when you have similar cards. Now, we also have an English Player of the Season selection as well. Let me know if you guys would like a review on them. This is going to cost you 2,000 coins to pretty much clear the box if you want to, right? You've got Bruno, you've got Kanati, you've got Isaac, you've got a couple of other players in here as well. If you guys were looking to get Wan-Bissaka, who's pretty decent, Rodgers is pretty decent, Cunha is pretty decent, Ruben Diaz is pretty decent. It's an okay pack. I mean, it's not a bad pack at all. You've got Bruno there as well. I think that they're getting a little bit more adventurous, I suppose, with the selections of players, you know, especially compared to these guys that are in here, because they have Gabriel in there, they have Diaz in there, they have a couple of nice cards in here as well. So let me know what you guys think. Did you spin or skip? I will be live in a little bit, and yeah, we'll talk to you then. Peace.